Buongiorno, sono John Garra.
Good morning, my name is John Garra and I am a product specialist in piezosurgery for Carlo De Giorgi. This is our device, the ULTRASURGERY, which is presented directly in a carrying case easy to carry, and thus everything you need on the inside, so you can use it in your second or third study and bring it with you wherever you are. Let's start with the opening of the suitcase, which is very simple in the front, and we can proceed immediately to remove pedals, the autoclavable tray with inside the handpiece, the inserts kit, and the junctions for the physiological solution, the inserts, the complete handpiece, the bracket for saline bag or bottle. In its container at the bottom, we can find the power cable, the handpiece holder, the peristaltic pump, and finally the basic unit that has to be placed on the table. Also, in the front pocket of the suitcase, we can find something that no one ever finds, the user guide and the tubes for the peristaltic pump. As you can see, the installation of the peristaltic pump is first required on the central unit. Just place it above the key, rotate it 45 degrees so that the pump is simply inserted and connected to the machine. The autoclavable handpiece holder is also removable and fits inside the two front holes on the left side from behind the machine. The bracket for the saline solution is on the right side. After these operations, we can proceed to connect the power cord with the plug on the back, to connect it to the electric network, while the foot switch has a really easy connection door always on the back of the unit, from which the locks can be inserted and screwed so that the foot switch is firmly connected to the machine. Now it's time to assemble the handpiece that comes along with its holder. Remove the inserts and the two technical junctions for the pipes connection. This is a safety plastic cover that is used only for transportation. Please note that this is not autoclavable, so it must be removed. Now, remove the protection socks around the handpiece and proceed with the connecting operations. You just need to match the suggested input color, the red one with the red circle, to ensure the right input. After its use, the tube can go into the autoclave, including the junction. This is autoclavable as well. The junction has two different diameters. The tighter one shall be inserted into the handpiece tube to its end, where it finds the right pressure. Please take one of the pipes provided in the package. In its pocket there are 8 pipes. Now we can open it. It is sterile. Connect all technical junctions. One is placed in the front of the machine. Insert it inside the peristaltic pump. Then close the door and proceed to the rear connection that goes towards the bag or bottle of saline. Here the fitting is identical to the other one with a small diameter and one with a larger one. Insert the one with the larger diameter inside a silicone tube inside the peristaltic pump and go directly to the bag through an infusion tube commercially available and that can go inside of the bag. Use a flow regulator. You can shorten the tube so that you have less wrapped pipes. Diameters are perfectly compatible to our small fitting provided in the kit. Therefore, simply connects to the upper part. There is no pressure. The pressure is found only between the peristaltic pump and the handpiece. At this point, we can proceed to turn the machine on. As we already connected the pedal and the handpiece, there is no alert message, since everything has been connected properly. After connecting the machine, let's see some of the settings that we can use with our ultrasurgery. The piezosurgery deals with treatments on the bone. Then some of the main functions of the machine are cut, bones shaping. You can find all these functions under the item bone. Then pressing M, we can change mode and go in the root mode for root canal treatment. The machine has also a program for cleaning a circuit, a clean cycle that lasts 25 seconds and can immediately rinse the circuit that was filled by saline. This way, with distilled water or tap water, you can rinse the entire circuit. Now we can proceed to explore the other functions of the machine. So let's change mode and move to the bone mode. The settings are Quality 1, Quality 2, Quality 3 and Special. As we see, the display is already very intuitive and simple. It leaves no doubt to the user. You can very easily set the mode by moving the arrow rotating knob. So, Quality 1 for a cortical bone, Quality 2 for a less dense bone, Quality 3 for a bone that is very close to the spongy gum, so a very thin bone. In the function named Special, the power parameter changes, while for the other functions we have the same amount of power and only the frequency changes. With the special mode, we can work directly in contact of the soft tissues with a self-regulated lower power to ensure more safety. You still have the possibility to change continuously the pump speed in every of the 4 modes as well. As we see, we cannot change in any way the power, because these settings have been automatically preset. While, if we change the mode and go to the root, we can change the setting of the pump and the power of our device. So the pump adjustment by the user is only available in the root cycle, whereas in bone cycle, as we have seen before, it is impossible to change the parameter of the power. Before proceeding with the practice tests, I would like to provide you with additional details about the inserts. As we see, we have several categories: inserts dedicated to bone surgery, inserts dedicated to the uplift of maxillary sinus lifting, some to implantology, and others to extraction techniques, and those used in the root cycle, where we find perio and endo. I want to focus on the 12 tips provided in the standard equipment. With this, you are allowed to do many osteotomies, sinus lifting, and a first hole in the event of implants. So, I would point out in particular that we have sharp tips, and they are indicated with the code S for sharp. Those dedicated to the sinus lifting are then coded with L for lifting. Here you have one, with the letter L. Then we have tips dedicated to implantology, indicated by the letter I. You are provided with these different kind of tips inside the starter kit. E queste già di 3 tipologie diverse le avete già di serie all'interno del kit di partenza. Now we can start doing some practice. We will work on bone and removal of bone sample with the use for tip that is dedicated to the collection of bone and bone modeling and shaping. We see it here. Let's save a brief description on this one. It can be installed, always screwing it tightly. Use the dynamometric key in order to protect your hand near the edge. We have to tighten it very well, then you activate it first in the air. Now we can proceed with the collection of bone. Based on the corners and the pressure that I make, the curls will be thinner or thicker, depending on my manuality. This is a considerable amount of bone already gathered in just a few moments. But we can not only just pick it up easily, it can also be stored easily using a dapping dish. Using the same handpiece as a spoon, we can place it all on the bit and squeeze the pedal slightly above the dapping dish to collect it easily and without losing any piece of it. The exercise consists in gathering the bone curl, bring it on the dapping dish, and then release the pedal. Let's start the second test, deeper and thin cut, which can be useful in the split crest or if you want to make cuts on a block or relieve cuts for a greater expansion. Take a tip dedicated to cutting, the most widely used. Because of its sharpness, we will choose the US2, S for sharp, and 2 because it is the second tip designed for the piezza surgery in the world. So this is the reason for which it was created, to cut bones. From special, I move now to quality 1, which is more suitable for this bone that is very hard. I move to quality 3 just to let you listen in better to the difference in the acoustic frequency. After that, other practical tests are some exercise on a raw egg in order to familiarize with your perception and sensitivity. Try to consume the skin of the egg only, not touching the internal membrane. This exercise can improve your sensitivity and consciousness and your familiarity with the handpiece, letting you understand how much is the correct pressure for the different stages of your work. In order to cut, the pressure needs to be greater. For a slower consumption, then pressure is lower, and you have to make a very little pressure if you are close to the soft tissues. Another dedicated tip we can exercise with is the one for making the initial hole of the implant, while the other ones can be used according to the morphology of the patient's bone. We can try to make the initial hole of the implant. We have a tip available for this task already in the provided kit, so we can now proceed to make this test. We made the first initial hole with the desired axis of inclination, so from now on we can proceed with traditional tips that use an implantology micromotor. Of course, we can have much more uses and go on making more practical and complex exercises requiring a dentist chair, a dentist, and a patient. In root mode, we have many endodontic and periodontics uses, and especially for perio. The powers can be adjusted and tuned very finely, and this is a reliable, simple machine. For more information, please contact us directly.